What's going on, guys? Welcome to some iRacing. It's something I've wanted to get into for such a long time, but I'm finally there and I am full-blown addicted. I love it. Hopefully you're able to check out a video I made that was kind of describing what iRacing is all about and why it is so good. But here we're going to hop into a race. This is going to be 2 qualifying laps. We're going to hop in, try to get some qualifying times, and then we are going to get into a 20-lap race. So it should be a pretty good time. Let's hop onto track here. Try to focus in and get something halfway decent. Obviously, this first lap is going to be a warm-up lap. Just get around the track, and then we'll start our timed laps from there. This is the MX-5 Global, so it's the new Miata, but it's the full like cup car Miata basically. And we are at Lime Rock Park. For those of you guys that didn't get to check out the video of like what iRacing's all about and why it's so good, the short and is really that this is the best physics of any sim that I've played. You know, Assetto Corsa. I play a lot of those types of games. I mean, you can't even really compare Project Cars. Project Cars 2 is just kind of whatever. It's cool and pretty, but it's not a proper, just great sim. So anyway, but this game is so great because they force you to be safe. There's a safety rating. If you drop a tire off track, you're in trouble, and it affects your safety rating, and you have to have a good safety rating to move up through the licenses. And it's just a really cool system. So we'll try to see if we can get a decent lap. Already pushing a little bit there, so this probably is going to be shot. I'm not actually too worried about being at the very front of the grid, but it definitely helps at times if you can avoid the chaos in the first corner, because remember, I am in the rookie class at the moment. I'm actually on the verge of getting out of the rookie class and going into my D license, so it's really going to pay off for me to not get into any accidents or drop a wheel off, but I'm still trying to have some proper racing. I have to be really clean, otherwise, you know, somebody else hits me, I still get affected for it. So you can see I'm, you know, 6/10 off of my fastest time at the moment, but that's okay. I don't expect to put in a complete heater at the moment, but I want to make sure that we're competitive. Get a decent grid spot. Heel toe 4th to 3rd. I lose a lot of momentum there, but it's a line that I've been taking for quite a while now. Kind of late break here. I actually putt a little bit through this corner, but it's all so I can get a better line for this section here and carry as much momentum as possible. 4th through this entire section here. Little dab of the brakes, turn in. Ooh. Still off of our time, but we only get 2 laps, so it is what it is. Try to finish strong here with a good bit of momentum into the last corner. Little lift. Oh, too much curb. Now, obviously, I'm running full pedals. I've got a wheel stand pro. That's what we're running. But that was it. Those were our 2 laps. So wheel stand pro, obviously I'm running no auto clutch. I'm running full clutch myself, and then the H pattern, obviously. But yeah, just a great setup. We'll hop out, and we will have, what, a minute left until we really hop onto the grid and get going. But it's pretty sweet. iRacing is really a game that I'm going to dive really deep in. Like I said, I've been looking for a game like this for such a long time. The physics are great. That's the big thing, obviously. You know, Assetto Corsa and all those games are great, and they're really fun, and you'll probably see some of that here too. But iRacing is just where it's at. It's expensive. You know, it's a subscription. I just got it for 50% off, so it was like $55 for a year. So it's normally like $110 for a year. And then it's like $12 to buy a car, $12 to $14 to get a track. It's like, it turns into a pretty serious thing, but it's awesome. It's like McLaren's F1 test driver uses this for like practice and also for fun, but they use it. I mean, Scott Speed is playing that. He's winning a lot of the global rallycross events, and it's like there's some pretty serious guys that are using this platform to get some practice in. So it's just a really serious model, and it's like you really have to treat it seriously. I know it's still a game, but it's like with the rating system, it's like you really do have to treat it as if you were going out on track in a real car, because you don't want to touch people. It screws your rating. You'll never move up. You drop a wheel off into the grass, it's the same as a real track. If you go way off track on an open lapping day, it's like, well, it looks like you're gonna have to pull into the pits and they're gonna talk to you. So it's very similar to a lot of real stuff, and I've been able to spend some time on track myself in real life and do some instructing myself. So this is just like a really fun way for me to dive into that. But anyway, here we go. Let's try to have a decent race. Try to stay clean. We're not very far on the grid. Look, somebody already jumped to start back right in our mirror. Fucking A, bro. This is going to be a shit show, I can tell already. We'll go a little slow into this first corner. We got a lot of craziness around us, kind of behind us. But hopefully we can find an interesting spot. Now, one thing to be aware of at the beginning of these races, again, a 20-lap race, is your tires are cold right off the grid. This guy's going to jump right on track and not even be concerned about us. So you can see I'm being a little bit cautious. You really got to pick your moments, especially on this track. See if he lets us by without being a dick. Cool, thank you, fella. But anyway, your tires are cold, so you do have to be a little bit careful and tiptoe on this first lap. Let me see if I can close the gap here. These guys, want to try to take advantage of them while they are in a group. I don't want to let them get too far away. Obviously, we're all in pretty much the same car, minus just little setup changes between all of us, you know, just whatever you want to do, tire pressure or whatever. So it's very much just a spec series, and you have to be on point and really watch your momentum, and you're not going to make up huge amounts of time because we're all in pretty much the exact same car. So let's see if we can try to just run some clean laps. It's good we have a little gap behind us. We don't have to worry about somebody nailing us. I've had that happen a few times. Actually, on the last lap. Oh shit, we got somebody off up here. Dude, I just had to slam on the brakes. That's why you have a busted up rear end, bro. You're just pulling out in front of people. So this is where it's sketchy, especially in the rookie class. But we'll see what we can do. Obviously, this guy's struggling a little bit. I'm hoping we can maybe get him down this start straight. Let's see. I actually threw a fucking wheel off. That was really, really sketchy. Not as sketchy as that, though. Good. That guy was, he was a mess. I'm sure you guys can hear my pedals and everything on the microphone. Not much I can do about that. Okay, let's try to keep it clean, not push too hard. Again, I go a little bit slower here than some people, but a lot of times it pays off because this is it just sets me up really nice for this next section. Kind of screwed it up there this time, but we'll make it work. Just need to get into a rhythm. Back end, you unweight over that hill and it's easy to lose it. I'm not trying to do anything too ridiculous, even though I just went off. See, top of the screen, that actually cost me some points. And that if you have too many of those types of things, it definitely affects your safety rating. The goal is to not do that at all. It's kind of like MX Simulator for those of you guys that watch some of that from me or have heard me talk about it. It's like it's very difficult, but at the same time, it's like if you don't treat it seriously, you're kind of screwed. The best way is to be clean and build speed from there. But I feel like I actually have this in the bag, not as far as winning or something, but like being comfortable with it. But again, like Sim, it's all about that rhythm. You have to feel that flow, otherwise you're just fighting it. You got to really feel it, and it just takes putting in a few laps, honestly, to kind of be hitting your braking points. One thing is when the back end comes out, it is very, very hard to catch. You know, you're on race tires, and they don't have as much give as your normal street tire. You know, when you put a race tire on a car, it's like it sticks, and then when it goes, it snaps loose. So it's not quite that drastic with this setup. I'm not sure what tire they really run in these global series, but you really can't slide the car around much. I think we have the pace on this guy in front of us, and we need to really focus on putting in lap times because the group ahead of him is pulling away a bit. That being said, they're all in a group, and there's a chance for some issue up there with those guys. So yeah, we're definitely holding a better line through there. There's only a few sections where it's really nice to pass on this track, at least for me, but I've got a couple of them planned out, so we just gotta catch somebody. Man, four-wheel slide through there. Again, this isn't necessarily about position. I mean, obviously you always want to win stuff, but it's more about not getting into a wreck, to be dead honest. This guy behind us caught quick. He must be moving. You almost gotta like let somebody by at certain times just because it's that serious. We pulled a little bit on him. Maybe we can make a move on this green guy here. If I can get a good run, I could take the inside after this hill. He's got a pretty good line through there. Not quite going to be close enough for a move. He's off. Don't hit the tires. Oh, shit. Whew. So now we have a pretty decent gap to the next group. We got a lot of laps left. Just need to focus in and put in some good ones and hope for a mistake on somebody else. The guy behind me is holding a pretty good pace, though. He's definitely a little bit quicker than me. But I haven't really been putting in the best of laps, so it is what it is. Oh, that back end out. Trying to run it clean. I can tell that my tires don't quite have the grip that they had in those first few laps. I'm being a little bit more cautious. I'm focusing on exit speed more than entry speed in most of these corners. A little off, not too bad. You throw it a little bit farther than that and you're going to get a point deduction there. If you're curious of what's going on with my pedals and stuff, obviously below the webcam, you can kind of view what I'm doing with the clutch and what I'm doing with the brake and the throttle. So same situation as before. It's like, looks like we might be able to reel this guy in front of us in, but then it's unfortunate because there's a gap to the group in front of him. So we just got to keep running clean. He's running good laps. It's not like he's struggling, pushing a little wide there. I had to lift and dab the brake. Not ideal. So you can see how much nicer it is when you don't touch the curb on the inside there. This guy behind me, look, he's having to look up the inside. We might just let him have it. Let's dive in behind him. Man, I guess it did barely touch him. I am sorry, fella. Oh no. That's how it happens. Motherfucker. I was keeping it real close with him and gave him a little dab. Didn't mean to. Just so happened that he got me on the way out too. He's saying sorry, sorry, sorry. I think it's because he got on the brakes. I'm not sure. Maybe we can get around these guys here. A bummer that that's how this went. I wanted to have a perfectly clean race. But we're going for it still. So obviously our safety rating is going to be affected by that crash, and then our overall position is not great. So that affects your I rating. But in rookie you actually don't even have an I rating until you go to D class. So that's what we're trying to get to. But for the video's sake, I want to have some good battles, you know? I could run in the back, run clean, and you could get dead last and improve your safety rating significantly. But I want to have some good battles with some guys, because this is just a ton of fun. But we'll get out of the rookie class without any real issue. And then that opens up a lot of different cars, track combinations, some really, really fun stuff. We definitely have the pace compared to those guys behind us. Only problem, looks like we got 10 laps left, so we're at the halfway point. And there's a pretty decent gap in front of us. It's a bummer that I'm the one that kind of caused that wreck. Ooh, barely threw a tire off. It didn't give me a point deduction there. Okay, let's get back in that rhythm. You can see they catch me a little bit in that section a little ways back, but once I get to this fast stuff, I take a much better line through there. Car down on the right. There he is. Okay. Let's focus on putting in like 3 really good laps. Just try to hit my marks and charge, but be smart. I think we're in 5th, which is not bad considering how shitty things went with that crash. Definitely don't have the grip we once had. Back end is all over the place. That purple car looks like he actually does have some pace. I'm not pulling on him too hard. Again, a little slow through here, but I stay far left. And I can pretty much stay flat through here, clip 4th. Little dab of the brake, turn in, commit to it, unweight. Shit, missed my braking point, braked a little late there, lost some definite momentum. Whew, car's definitely a little sloppy. I don't know if some of the contact made any sort of difference. My alignment, everything seems pretty good. It might just be in my head. And definite tired. Nice and slow here, stay left. Wasn't able to stay flat through there, but you can see in our rear view mirror we're pulling on the purple car. That unweight is pretty intense. I don't remember who I got in that accident with. I want to say sorry to him because I just gave him that tiniest of nudges. I didn't even think I hit him for a second until I saw in the top corner. I'm in 4th. Not bad, not bad. If we didn't have that accident, we could be up there with the podium, but it is what it is. It's all about the race, you know, and the story through your season and making the best of those negatives. I'm starting to slide around a lot. You can tell the, especially my rear tires, I'm sure all of them, I'll have to look at telemetry or whatever afterwards and see how worn my tires really are after a race like this. We'll take a look at that at the end. I haven't done enough of that to really see how worn everything is. We've pulled a little bit of a gap on the purple car. That's pretty nice, but he's still close. It says 1.2 seconds bottom right. That's just how close everybody around me is. Pushed a little hard there, had to get on the brakes. Luckily only barely threw a wheel off, but boom, he's on me. I really struggle in that first corner. I think I'm just doing a little bit too much brake pressure when I'm trying to heel toe down. I wish I could have a pedal cam. I'll probably make a separate video just talking specifically about heel toe and things like that that are just really fun. Ooh, I lost a lot of time there. Heel toe and stuff that's just, you know, those more advanced techniques when you're driving a real car. And try to share that with you guys just because it's something that's really interesting and really a really rewarding thing to do. And when you try to do it in a game, it's a little bit different, but it's like the concept is still the same, and it makes it really, really fun. Alright, just got to run 5 laps clean. Let's go. Purple is trying to close that gap on me. Really got to be careful here. With the slope, you can see my back end kicking out just a little bit. You can lose it really easy there. He actually, purple just went off. He just went off track behind us. That'll give us the breathing room that we really, really need. This track is fun because it's short. There's some late apexes that you really have to focus on. There's some spots like this, the fast stuff, where you really have to commit, turn in, and just pin it. So you really feel like you're giving it your all. Technical stuff, but it's also short, so you can do 20 laps like this in not too long amount of time and really get to learn the track. It's just really, really cool. Gonna lose all that time we just gained back. It's so easy to do that in that first corner because you want to swing wide and then dive in late, a late apex, and it's really easy to go too far wide there. You see a lot of people do that. It's probably the most common place to go off on this whole track, I bet you. Even though it's obvious and it's just fast into a corner, it's like when you're trying to really push it there, it falls away from you really, really quick. So I'll get a little bit tighter this time, then drift out just a tiny bit to mid-corner and then dive in. A little too much curb. You can definitely have your back end come out because of that. Same thing here, under braking, once you lose a lot of your tire. Holy shit, I gotta be careful. Alright, we gotta bring it home or I'm gonna throw this thing away. Only a few laps left, let's go. 2 laps left. That means the leader just crossed finish line. Gives me a decent idea of the gap. Definitely pulled pretty hard on us, huh? Dude, I have no tire left. Okay, let's run clean here. We'll protect insides if we have to, if the purple car gets close enough to us. He really pulls me in that corner. I had to slam on the brakes there. Okay. I'm going to just smooth everything out just a little bit extra. Still try to keep pace, but just smoother. I think my problem at the moment is I don't have that tire, so I'm being a little jerky, and I need to just smooth it out. Last lap, let's go. It's important to get a good drive there since he catches me in this corner. One lap left. Let's just keep it tidy. Got on the brakes just a little bit early. Fucked it up though. We're gonna have to close him off on the inside. He's right on us. Remember, it's more important for me to go slow there. Hit this line correctly to try to pull a gap before we get to the end. Okay, I think we can not worry too much about this. Oh no! Car crashed! I wonder if that's the leader. No way. It can't be the leader. Or not the leader, sorry, the guy in front of us there. Did we just catch? Let's see where we end up finishing. Boom, that's race. That was really, really intense. So let's click down here. We got third, the podium. That was a tough, tough race. Wow. Holy shit. That was a ton of fun. Definitely, you can feel it in your arms on these 20-lap races. By the end of them, you're like, wow, that was a thing. All right, so let's hop out of the car. So hopefully you guys can see this. Just got done with that race and got promoted to my D-class license. So that is really exciting. That's like really, it's not a big deal because the D-class is nothing too special, but to get out of rookie, you gotta put a little bit of time in. So just really cool. Thought I'd add that. Got to D-class, and now we're moving up, and you're gonna see a lot of iRacing on the channel. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. All right. Well, anyway, guys, thank you for watching some iRacing. Hopefully you checked out my video, why this game is so good. And if I didn't make that, hopefully this was a good glimpse. Thank you guys for watching. I'll probably post a few more of these races because they're just a ton of fun, and then we're going to step it up into some other cars, other tracks, and there's some insane stuff, and it is all so realistic. It's like comparing sim to reflex. It's like this is on that level. It's just so good compared to those other games like Project Cars, Assetto Corsa, and Forza. It's just those are not on this level. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. Peace out.